So on previous episodes of the Birders Show, we've always asked our guest a series of quick-fire questions. And one of the questions that we've asked that tends to stir up the most debate is your preferred choice of binocular. 8, 10, or even 12. Nobody's picked 12 yet. 8s and 10s tend to be the most popular binocular choice, typically in the 8 or 10 by 42 format, although Diego, my co-host, who carries a scope and recording equipment, favours the 8 by 32 for the more lightweight quality. With a good quality binocular, the 32-42 is perhaps less of an issue in terms of the light that comes in. So for any of you who aren't that familiar with binocular terminology, when I'm referring to 8, 10, 12, I'm talking about the magnification. So if I'm talking about 8s, the subject is 8 times closer, 10 times closer, etc. The 42, the 32 refers to the diameter of this lens here. In other words, how much light pretty much is going to be captured by that lens when you're looking out. So 32 captures less, 42 more. Those tend to be the only two numbers that birders regularly employ. Once you're getting into the 50s, the 60s, that tends to be used for other activities, stargazing, things like that. I'm going to talk a little bit about my preference, which is 8 by 42. I used to use 10 by 42 when I birded in the UK. And one of the reasons for that is since I came to Colombia and I started birding in this kind of forest that you can see behind me, this really dense forest, often in low light conditions with small birds moving in mixed flocks, I often found that with 10, I would struggle to pick out small moving birds high overhead in these mixed flocks. These birds aren't making it easy for you. They're not perching on feeders, they're not sitting out on the edge of bushes, they're moving quickly, high up ahead, often in misty conditions. And just that little wider field of vision provided by the 8s makes it that much easier to pick out those birds moving through the trees. And actually, if you're experienced with the birds that you're looking at and you have good quality optics, in my opinion of 42, you shouldn't have that much of an issue identifying the bird between the 8 and the 10. As we've always said on the Birders Show, the most important thing about birding is that you're enjoying looking at birds. Anything else, that's just extra.